Hey eBay friends, it's Suzanne A. Wells. Thank you for coming back for another video. And today I'm going to recap Money Making Monday from August 28th of 2017. But before I get into today's video, I wanted to announce an event I'm doing. This is going to be on November the 2nd in Medina, Ohio, and it's a lunch and learn. Now, what this means is it's 2 hours of open Q&A style format at a restaurant in this area. And what you get is 2 hours to come and ask all your questions. I will answer them, and anything goes. So whether you're new, just getting started, just curious about this, wanting to transition to full time, whatever you've got on your mind, we will talk about that. Other than the lunch and the 2 hours of Q&A, you get 30 days of email support. You get 2 free courses from my website, a free eBay store critique. I will mobile optimize your listings, and then of course the lunch. So I'm going to put a link to this below the video so you can check that out. It is November the 2nd, and the cutoff for registration is September 15th. So seating is limited, so go ahead and book your seat for that, and I will see you in Ohio in November. So let's get on with today's video about Money Making Monday. We've got some great sales to talk about today. First, we've got Tracy Bloodsaw, and Tracy has been in my group for a long time, and she is always posting the greatest stuff. But she gets the prize this week, I think, based on what I've seen so far, for her flip where she paid 52 cents for a Nintendo Game Watch, and she sold it for $410. 52 cents, and she sold it for $410. So here's her listing, and I don't even know that I would have picked this up, but she said in the comments that she wasn't sure if this was worth anything, but for 52 cents, she took a chance on it. So kudos to you, Tracy, for that sale. That is just amazing. So she was the first post on Money Making Monday last week, and I can see why. She's very excited to share that sale. So let's see what else we've got. Here's an interesting one. Connie Mussaw, who posts all the time, she's a great one to watch too. She sold these Hollister paper bags just from the store for $16.99. So she's got 8 of these bags, and she took what most people would have thrown in the recycler or threw away, and sold them. So very creative, great idea. And you know, most people never would have even thought to list these on eBay, so that was very resourceful. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Here's some perfume. Kimberly Southton bought this for $8.99 at Goodwill, and whoops, no, don't tell me that. And sold it for $152.50. There we go. So that was an incredible flip there. And it is Gucci Envy EDT spray for men. It's discontinued, so that might account for the great price. She did an auction on these, which I do recommend auctions for things that are in limited supply, scarce, rare, that kind of thing, because you just don't know what the market's going to bear, or price it high with best offer and see what you get. And remember that any kind of fragrance, perfume, cologne, any fragrances must be shipped parcel select. They are hazmat, and they cannot go first class, priority, or international. So that is a great sale, $152.50 from a $9 investment. Okay, then we've got Dawn Peacock. She bought this plush for $5 and sold it for $109. I mean, these people, you guys are just great. I mean, there's just so much out there. We just live in such an abundant world where there is just stuff everywhere. And if you learn how to do this business, you can make some killer money. It's I really believe it's not so much about volume. It's not so much about worrying about selling, 1% of your store every week or every day. It's about taking your time and finding the quality items that you can flip for a lot of money, because you're going to be spending time doing this business either way. Do you want to be spending your time being a mouse on a wheel and going as fast as you can for $5 to $10 per item? Or do you want to spend your time sourcing well, sourcing better, and then you're listing higher quality items? I've just always been a quality over quantity seller and mindset, because you pick your brand. You can be McDonald's, or you can be Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, or you can be Super 8 Motel, or you can be the Ritz Carlton. You get to pick. So that's one thing that this Money Making Mondays shows us, is that this is possible. People are doing it, and you can do it too if you learn what to sell. So anyway, back to this item. It is the Disney Store DuckTales Darkwing Duck plush, and I don't know that I would have picked this up because I'm not in the know on a lot of Disney stuff. We just aren't really a Disney family. My kids were never really into it. So, but I have sold some Disney stuff in the past, music boxes, water globes, snow globes, stuff like that. But this is a fantastic sale. And what'd she spend on it? $5, and sold it for $109. So we got some comments below, and somebody asked if it went international, and I don't think she answered. So great on that one. Then we've got Julie O'Brien, who posts regularly, bought this Pendleton blanket for $14, and it sold for $199. So you guys are just hitting it out of the park this week, I'm telling you. Here we are at the end of August. People say all August sales are slow, summer sales are slow, whining and complaining. And you guys are just out there doing your work, listing your stuff, keeping busy with your business, not getting caught up in all the drama and the negativity. And look what's happening. All these things are selling. So she got this Pendleton blanket, has the tag on it. I don't see an original price on there. Let's see. I'm not seeing an original price, but anyway, $200, and her investment was $14. So fantastic. Okay, then we've got Luann, who sold these interesting shoes, which I've never heard of. Kuru, I think it's pronounced Kuru, and $4 at, what'd she say, thrift store, sold for $89. So if you haven't heard of this brand and you're out there listening, take a look at your screen and let's look at this logo. It's kind of like a cross snowflake kind of thing. Really bright colors, and let's see what the bottoms look like. So that's what the sole looks like. So make a mental note of the logo and the sole. And were these newer? Yeah, these are pre-owned. So they are fitness walking trainers, orthotic shoes. Okay, so there's a lot of money in these comfort shoes, orthotic shoes, because we've got this huge wave of baby boomers getting up there in age, and they are changing everything about aging. Housing, transportation, recreation, and clothing, because there's so many of them, and now they're getting up to an age where they're having foot problems, physical, ailments. But baby boomers don't want to just sit and do nothing. They want to stay active. So the retail and consumer world knows this, and they respond with making products for them. So anyway, this is a brand I'd never heard of, Kuru, and she sold them for $89. That is fantastic. Let's see what else we've got here that might be a little unusual. This is just a fun little item, a Lego keychain. So Kim got it free from her daughter. Now I'm hoping she had permission to take it from her daughter. um, if you're a mom who sells on eBay and you've got kids and you're like me, constantly running after them, are you done with this? Do those shoes fit anymore? Are you going to wear this again? And you're like trying to gather up their stuff as they outgrow it, and get it on eBay as fast as you can. um, so this sold for $11.99, just a cute little Lego keychain. And FYI, it's Lego, not Legos. There's no S on the end. I know some of the Lego people out there really get irritated when we put an S on the end of that word, so that's just your trivia tip for the day. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Patagonia always is a good seller. Kristen Pope. Hey, Kristen, I just did your store review over the weekend, and things are looking good for you. Excuse me. She's got this Patagonia coat that she got at the Goodwill bins for, she estimates $1.75. It sold for $34.95 plus $15 shipping, and it went to Canada. So here is where, if you are not shipping internationally, you're missing out. And I know I preach this, but there is nothing to be afraid of with international. I have a course on this that shows you exactly what to do. You don't have to do global shipping. In fact, global shipping makes the cost about 3 times more expensive than it has to be because eBay is trying to streamline this process and they're shipping everything priority and sometimes putting customs fees on things even when they don't need it. So you will be more competitive if you offer international direct, shipping it yourself. I have been doing this since 2003. I taught myself how to do it. It is no big deal. When you don't ship international, you're missing out on billions of people. Think about it. There's 7 billion people on this planet and only about 350 million, not even 10%. Is that right? Are on, I'm not good at math, are on in the USA. So, you've got a huge percentage of people out there that aren't in the United States that want to buy on eBay. So 7 billion people worldwide, only 350 million in the United States. So huge opportunity there. So congratulations to Kristen Pope on this great sale, Patagonia jacket, and great keywords there. Her pictures look good. She's got measurements. She did everything right on this listing. So that was a good sale. And there's Brian Rappaport. He's in here every week with his great finds. So thanks for posting, Brian. So here's a seasonal item that some of you might not have listed. Amy Deere posted these boots back in the spring. She paid $2.99 at Goodwill and they sold for $25 plus shipping. Snow boots that sold in the end of August. So any of you that have the limiting belief that off-season clothing won't sell, I am here to bust that myth. Yes, it does. It sells every day. And if you don't have your off-season stuff listed now, you're missing sales. So if you have it listed, eBay does not know any seasons. Anything can sell anytime to anyone in the world if you are shipping internationally. Her pictures look great. Good job listing that off-season item and making money on it now. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Here's a fun one. Karen Holden. She said she bought this off of Let Go for $15 right after Christmas. And the lady she bought it from said she found it by a neighbor's garbage can, but Karen sold it for $84.99. So this was a Shark Tank product. If you've not seen that, it's like a toilet stool, basically. So $85 for this thing that cost her $15. And so, anything sells on eBay. Doesn't matter. So let's see what else we've got here. Um, Here's a good Disney item sold in 2 hours. And this is the Disney Princess Musical Snow Globe Fairy Tales Dream Come True. Um, Tressa doesn't say how much she paid for it, but I've sold these. Something like this. It was a Little Mermaid one that had all the different little characters in their own globe. I think there's like 7 globes on it, and the one I had sold for almost $300. So these Disney snow globes that are in these combinations, they sell for a lot of money. This one sold for $45, and she said it's a musical snow globe. So I used to pass these by all the time at Goodwill because I didn't think they were worth anything, and I've started picking them up now. I will show you some of my sales in the my other video playlist called The Opposite of a Haul Video. It's sales videos, and this is where I learned it, on this group, watching other people sell their stuff. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Olivia bought these new in the box J. Crew sandals for $2 and they sold for $85. She said she took a best offer of $85. So let's take a look at these. $2 for a pair of shoes, and she flipped it for $85. And they're just some nice J. Crew strappy sandals. She's got them presented really nicely there. Her pictures are good and clear. And yeah, got her description there, so everything looks good. That's a great sale. Shoes, you just can't go wrong with shoes. Okay, let's do a couple of more here. Let's do another winter item just to convince those of you that are still on the fence about not listing your seasonal items. D paid $15 for these since they were new with tag, and they sold for $50. So here we have some leather boots selling in August, and they look like they are fleece lined. Let's see. Yeah, they've got some fleece there. Here's a better picture. So definitely a winter boot, sold at the end of August, and she sold them for $50. Let's see what else we have here. Here's another plush. Janae bought for 50 cents and sold for $20. This Abominable Snowman plush. So those of you that know plush or have kids that know these characters, you're the ones who can make the most money with this because you know who the characters are. I'm kind of out of touch with that since my kids are older now, but if they like to be in the toy aisle of Goodwill anyway, so why not make some money on this kind of stuff? And it's easy to ship. And there was an interesting vintage item here. Janae also had this, got for free at an estate outlet. So it's some soap, and she sold it for $22. So free item. You seem to have the free bins at estate sales sometimes. So just look what's in there. You just never know. So this is a really interesting item. I bet somebody bought this as a display, maybe in a hair salon or a boutique or something like that, because this looks like a really interesting packaging, and I bet somebody bought this for a display. So that was a good sale. And then we've got Christmas ornaments selling at the end of August. Patricia Reed paid 89 cents for this at Goodwill, and this hand-blown art glass ball Christmas ornament, and it sold for $16. So interesting ornaments, sell them on their own. Just package them well so they don't break. Lots of videos on YouTube about how to do that. But again, here we are at the end of August and we've got a Christmas item selling. So get out of that mindset. That is a limiting belief that is holding a lot of you back because you think off-season things won't sell in the current season. And I'm just here to tell you you're wrong. They will. Get them listed. Okay, so let's do one more. Bibles. This is a great thing to look for to sell. Jean got this one for free. Took a month to sell for $19.99. And so, a little note about Bibles. When you go to Goodwill, look at the Bibles. Ours separates them, so we have like a religious section, so I can go straight to it. And some of the more interesting leather tooled Bibles, or if they're really old and they have the family history written in them, it's got like the family tree and the relatives, or maybe just a note from someone who was giving the Bible to someone else. That's history. People collect that stuff. And you may have a really old Bible that goes back 50 years or more, and it's just interesting to see what's written inside the family tree, that kind of thing. But a lot of people pass books by because they think they're not going to sell on eBay. They can only sell on Amazon. But I've actually sold some interesting Bibles myself, and that's just something that a lot of people, the booksellers, kind of leave behind because they're looking, the booksellers on Amazon, and I know this because I was one for a while, you just want stuff you can scan. Just scan, 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 see what it comes up as. And that is a business of volume and turnover. So if you look in the books for things that are unusual, leather bound, tooled leather, you may have some interesting things you can sell as a one-of item. So, oh, here's one more thing I want to talk about as far as books. Summer sold this set of John Jake's books for $59. They were 40 cents each. This is an older series, but I remember back in the 70s, my dad read these books. This series, John Jake's, it was all about American history. He just read all of them. I remember seeing these around our house. So these were a hardback book with the dust jackets on, sold for $59.95. And let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 in the set for 40 cents. So she spent $3.20 on this and turned it into $59. And who says you can't sell books on eBay? So the key is keep your eyes open for unusual things and just keep trying new stuff. Just keep trying new stuff all the time because you just never know what is going to sell. And get out of your comfort zone. Try new things. You're in the thrift store anyway. There's no reason not to explore a little bit every time you go in because you are walking by things you can make money on. I guarantee it. All of us are, because no one can know everything because it changes all the time. So just a note, if you didn't catch my video about washing clothing before listing on eBay, I've got a link to that up here in the top right corner. Please wash that clothing. All kinds of stuff could have happened to it before it came into your possession. So I'm just telling you from experience, it's best to wash the clothing before you list on eBay. So what did you sell this week? Leave a comment below. Did you sell something interesting, unusual, really expensive, something that surprised you? Would love to hear what you sold. And if you give me a thumbs up on this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and please share it. And let's educate everybody out there about what they can sell on eBay. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. Bye.